Welcome to part 27 of this video series. Today I'm going to tell you 20 secrets to happy long-term cruising on a small liveaboard boat. Number 20 being one of the most important. Okay, so in the interest of keeping all the videos in this entire series approximately the same length, I'm going to break this topic into 3 parts, this video being part 1. And a special thanks to those who have already subscribed to this channel. And again, thank you so much for supporting the creation of this video series. If you haven't done so already, then please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos in this series. Number 13. Shade canvas. If your long-term cruising plan includes anywhere sunny, which I can't imagine anywhere that it doesn't, even Alaska has some hot days in the summer, then keeping the sun off your head and reducing heat is a major point in your being comfortable. You could go for a hardtop, but canvas is cheaper and easier to remove when you do want the sun. This is definitely worth the investment. Now, being able to cover your cockpit in the hot sun is very important, but also keeping rain off your head is important as well. Unfortunately, on long cruises, you don't always get the option to only travel on fair weather days. Personally, I prefer a removable, completely enclosed cockpit. This adds a whole room to your boat. Lets you leave some stuff out, including cushions in the rain, and you can remove it on beautiful days. You can also put an awning over the front of your boat so the sun doesn't beat down on the deck. This goes a long ways to keeping the interior cooled off. Number 14. Proper navigation equipment. I remember the days of having tons of paper charts take up tons of space on the boat. Having to keep them organized in such a way so you can find the exact one I was looking for at a glance. I also remember the cost of trying to keep them updated. Because of things like shifting shoals and stuff like that, they always had to be up to date. Today, thankfully, times have changed and we can look at all our charts on a tablet or laptop. You don't even really need to learn navigation. You just connect a GPS to it and the software does it all for you. However, having said all that, this is a case where redundancies become very important. Not just have multiple devices to look at, but using multiple chart types. Some show different things and some get their updates at different times. Also, having multiple GPS devices can show you more accurately where you are. You should at least have 2 of everything. Number 15. Yacht tenders. Obviously you know if you plan on doing any type of extended cruising, you're going to need a dinghy. This is sort of like your car. Not just to go back and forth to shore, but to maybe explore up small rivers, etc. It used to be that a dinghy was just a way to get back and forth to shore, and dinghies were designed as such. Small light craft that row very short distances. But today, as boating gets a lot more popular and anchorages get a lot larger and fuller, you are forced to anchor further and further and further away from shore. This means dealing with waves and weather, and for those of us who are no longer in their 20s, the idea of rowing these distances on rough water is a lot less appealing. Wider, more stable crafts with some sort of propulsion have become a lot more desirable. And I'm not going to get too much into the details here, since I already did a video on this series on them. If you want, check the description below for a link to it. Number 16. Safety. I know spending a lot of money on stuff you'll probably never use is annoying, but it is important. Not just to protect you and your crew, but to give you a true sense of security, which is really important for your happiness. Don't just get the minimum equipment required by law, but rather get enough to actually make you feel secure while you're away from shore or in rough water, etc. Plus, educate yourself on things like first aid, CPR, man overboard techniques. These are just a few options. Number 17. Shore communications. Keeping in touch with family and friends is important, and not that long ago this was a really difficult job. All you could do was to go to shore and use a payphone, or attempt a ship-to-shore call on a VHF or SSB radio. But today we have much better communications, with cellular and satellite. Cellular is the obvious choice with the difference of cost, satellite being super expensive, and unless you're crossing oceans in your small liveaboard boat, then cellular is usually just fine. There's plenty of coverage and you can call all your friends and family, you can text people, and today there's so much social media out there, as long as you have data, you can be a real social butterfly no matter how long it's been since you've been to shore. Number 18. A foldable bike. This is my favorite, maybe apart from the dinghy. Earlier I said the dinghy is sort of like your car, but this one actually is. Most sailors operate in a small range within the marina, which makes sense, but having a bike increases that range. Plus, it allows me to get my groceries in town instead of at the marina. It allows us to go to a good restaurant without renting a car or taking a taxi. Some cruisers are able to fit full-size bikes, but for those of us on smaller boats, they simply won't fit. So we use a folding bike. Personally, I use a custom folding e-bike. I like the electric assist as it increases my range even further and gives me more power for hills, soft surfaces like grass, gravel roads, and even lightly packed beaches. I made a video about mine and my girlfriend's bikes. I'll include the link in the description. Number 19. Entertainment. Now, this is an important one. As much as I love the cruising lifestyle, just like in a house, there are times when you'll be sitting at anchor, the sun drops down, so there isn't much to look at, and without some form of entertainment, you'll quickly become bored. Not to mention on rainy days. If you're the type that enjoys reading, that's awesome. It's a great simple way to pass the time, although I would suggest using an e-reader. Paper books are fine and have been used for thousands of years, but they're heavy, bulky, and absorb moisture and smells. You can put hundreds of books on an e-reader. Read them in dark or in the bright sunshine. The batteries last a long time, plus they weigh less than a paperback. If you're more the type to watch movies, this is also getting easier and easier as laptops and tablets become increasingly more available and affordable, and data packages get larger and larger. There are some data packages that even claim to be unlimited, and some providers are now including unlimited streaming movie subscriptions with your data package. Now, there's a plethora of other forms of entertainment as well, from cards, board games, and a million other things. Just remember to have enough on board to keep you and your crew occupied at those boring times. Number 20. My time and your time. To me, this is one of the most important. Nothing stops you from cruising faster than fighting with your partner or crew. The issue is, while living and cruising on a small Liveaboard boat, it means you and your partner are pretty much always going to be together. Unfortunately, most humans, when they spend this much time together, can really get on each other's nerves, no matter how well you get along or communicate. You need not just time for yourself, but to give your partner a little break from you. I'm sorry, no matter how perfect you think you are, you do have some annoying qualities that will drive your partner mad after a while. I know it seems tough to get away from each other on a small boat, but you can do things like take turns going to get groceries, or take the dinghy out for a row. If you're at a dock, go for a walk. Even while you're both sitting on the boat, one person can be inside and one on the outside, or go sit at the front deck to be alone. However you do it, it is possible, and highly recommended to take small breaks from each other. If I missed anything, or if you have any thoughts or ideas about this subject or ideas for future subjects that I have not covered, please let me know in the comments below. I absolutely love hearing from you. And thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video series on living aboard a small boat. If you have, then please subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Also, I included links to all the past videos in the description below. Thank you.